Hello, this is Jen from Newton's Nook Designs, and today I'm going to share with you how to make this spooky fun Halloween card. Now this card features our 3-piece jack-o'-lantern stencil set, which is a really fun way to create easy 3-color patterns. So to start out, we're going to grab our 3-piece stencil set, and it has, here are the 3 layers. It has the pumpkin layer, a layer with pumpkin stems, and a layer with jack-o'-lantern faces. So all of these layers have an etching on, which makes them really easy to line up with whatever you have just stenciled. So there isn't really a rhyme or reason as to which order you do things in, but I think it's easiest to do the pumpkins, then the stems, then the faces. So we're going to start out by making a stencil pattern. We'll protect our surface with a nonstick craft mat and get out our inks. So I've got carved pumpkin, peeled paint, and black soot. For this, normally when I stencil, a lot of times I'll just grab a piece of paper that I have on hand, not worrying about the size, and I'll cut it down to size afterwards. But in this case, I know exactly what I'm creating, so I've measured the piece I'm going to need, and it's 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. And this is a piece of Bristol cardstock that I'm using today. So we're going to go ahead and add a little tape to that to hold our stencil in place on the back side. And then decide where we want our pumpkins. So you can place it anywhere you like. Just decide how you want them to fit on your little panel. And then press against the tape to hold them in place. And then we'll start out with our carved pumpkin ink and make the pumpkins pumpkin orange. I just do a light-handed circular motion to fill the pumpkins in. It's kind of funny that this color is actually called carved pumpkin, and we are creating carved pumpkins. Super fun. Now you could always use these stencils with texture paste, glitter paste, anything like that if you want to add some texture to your images. Or in this case, I'm just using straight up colored inks. And then we'll take that one off. So we've got our pumpkins. And then we're going to go to stencil 2, which is the pumpkin stems. So you can see you can use the etching to line up your next stencil, like so. And then we'll use the peeled paint for the stems. That's just kind of an olive green color. That one, stems are mostly off the panel. Again, just using a light circular motion. Okay. And then the last layer will be the scary faces. Now, if you wanted to just create a fall card and not a Halloween card, you could stop there and just use this panel for a fall card. Or you can add the pumpkin faces and make it Halloween, which is great. It makes the stencil really versatile. On this one, we just have the stems to line up, but again, it's pretty easy to line up and see where your next layer needs to go. And then we have black soot to ink up the faces. I find the black soot is a little bit juicier than some of the others. Maybe that's just my ink pad, but just use a light hand so you don't go too overboard and squish the ink beyond the edges of the stencil. Now you could always use a glittery yellow paste to make the faces. That could be cute if you wanted to do a night scene with pumpkins. And I have actually even used this layer on its own without the previous two to just create a background of scary faces. And that's really fun for Halloween cards too. So this stencil is very versatile for doing different things. So we'll peel that one off. And there we have our faces. So you can see how easy it is to create a 3-layer pattern using these stencils. Very fun. All right, I'm just gonna make sure I don't have any messiness on my surface here. And then next we're gonna create our panel for the pumpkins to sit on. And I'm gonna use a stencil out of our a die set out of our Frames and Flags die set. And I'm gonna use this stitched rectangle with a piece of green cardstock. And that will be the background for our pumpkins. This is that cut out, so you can see it creates the rounded edge with stitching on it. And like I said, that 2 7/8 by 4 1/8 panel that we cut is going to fit perfectly right inside that stitched edge. Okay, then we are going to just assemble our card. And the other thing I did do, I did it off camera before I started this video, is I used also from the Frames and Flags this stitched banner, and I cut that out in black and embossed my sentiment Happy Halloween onto it. And that is from our Spiderweb oval stamp set right there. This has some really fun Halloween sentiments, but you can use any Halloween sentiment you have. I just wanted to try that one. And you could use a different kind of twine. If you don't have this kind of twine, you could use a black and white baker's twine or something like that. Now all we need to do is assemble. So we will add some adhesive to the backs of the pieces and put everything together. Now, sometimes the Distress inks take a minute or two to dry, so don't press willy-nilly all over the front of it unless you've given it a little time to dry. As you can see, my fingers have already gotten inky. And then we'll put some on the back of the green. And in this case, I am going to put this on my craft cardstock panel, but I'm going to go off to the right side a little bit because I know I want to use this banner and I don't want the banner sticking off the card. I want it to be on the card. So I'm going to have my main pattern panel off center. Stick that on. And then for this one, I just added a dimensional adhesive to the back. And then we will put that right there. So just one more look at our card today. Here's the finished card. Really fun, quick and easy way to create a 3-color pattern using our 3-piece stencil set. You can see how fun that was to create, quick and easy to create and fun to give too, to send in the mail for a Halloween greeting. And again, like I said before, if you prefer to have a fall greeting, you could use just the first 2 layers of the stencil like I did on this card. So I used the same layout, similar colors. In this case, I used a rust colored paper and an ivory colored paper to stencil on. And then I used a chocolate colored paper and a happy fall sentiment. And that sentiment is from our autumn oval stamp set, which has some really fun fall sentiments if you're looking for fall. But you could use anything that you have on hand to do that. Or the third option would be to create using just the scary faces. So this one has all 3, this one has the first 2, and then this card uses just the scary faces from the 3rd layer, just on their own, and that creates a really fun, spooky kind of Halloween background too. I created it on a black cardstock with some white texture paste. You can see it has a little bit of shine and dimension to it. And then I added the Happy Haunting That's also from the spiderweb oval stamp set that I showed earlier. And then I just used an orange to back that one up, and a bright yellow for the sentiment. So you can see how just using a few different things, you can create 3 awesome cards that have different looks using one stencil set. So I hope you've enjoyed learning about our jack-o'-lantern stencil set today, and that you will check it out in our shop at newtonsnookdesigns.com. Don't forget to like us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel so you can be first in the know when we have new content added. Thank you so much and have a great day.